Good evening, Free Enterprise fans. I am one of your co-hosts, Ground Flyer, and we are watching one of the Magus Sisters group Highway to the Threemus group stage races between penguin8r, who has one win already, and BORENSOREN, who's playing his first game so far of the group. And they are about to start right now.
Okay.
My co-host, Marty. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, okay. So, Panstart, Teleporum, or Palum. And our objectives are return to Pan, so we already have one of the key items that we're going to need for one of the objectives. Vanilla White Spear Altar, and Liberate Baron Castle. So,
nice, so yeah, we need a bunch of items for that. Well, but yeah, obviously we have the pan already, so we're pretty good to...
Basically a key item hunt.
Yeah, definitely. But curious to see what they do, because Tela is an awesome starter, as he can get you exit immediately. And obviously Palom is really powerful, so he's going to blow stuff up real fast.
Yeah, Quackit's really good. Exit's going to allow them to be able to make some potentially longer checks that you normally wouldn't make in terms of looting, like Watery Pass or maybe even Castle Evelyn if they're feeling a bit spicy. So, yeah. There's a lot of other looting options that you normally wouldn't really take or go as deep in that you can do that.
Yeah, like Mount Hobbs, checking those couple of chests there, you can exit out of that. And then even like Antlion, which you do otherwise. I mean, it's not a super long walk back, but having that exit does save some time.
Yeah, definitely. Unlikely to fade Antlion today, I feel like.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yep, and just as we said, penguin8r is going to go straight to Watery Pass, going to check the free character, while BORENSOREN looks like he's going to be going to City to get his 2 free characters.
Yeah, nice. So, with these flags, we've got T Wildish, which means that chests in these kind of locations, like in Watery Pass, are actually a lot spicier, more obscure locations and such. So you're going to see some pretty nice items come out of this in Iridia here. And then, I'm sorry, who was on the right? I didn't notice.
So we got a, what was it called? A Yang and a Sid there. So that's 2 characters that get a ton of HP early on, and Sid's a really good anchor later on as well.
Yes, it's such a great starter, not only because of his hit points, but he honestly does pretty good damage early, whereas Yang is pretty weak on the damage scale until you get him some levels.
Yeah, but Yang can also be really useful once he gets some claws of his own, and he'll start doing a lot more damage. Looks like penguin8r is going to be looting front and back, and that Iridia, not as good of Black Mage as Palom. However, because Warp Glitch is on, she does actually have some values, and she learns Warp a lot earlier than Palom does. I don't remember exactly when Iridia learns it, but I know Palom learns it at level 30, which is significantly later than Iridia.
Yeah, Iridia learns it. I mean, basically, it's like after the first or second boss, almost. So yeah, she gets it so fast that you don't even need to worry about it. Sometimes, if you're not careful, you can definitely go into that dwarf fight and not have a warp character at the end.
Okay, well, there's Alt Gauntlet. That's not a boss they're not going to have to worry about.
Man, I mean, good for them. Yes,
Yeah. Okay. And now he's going to go check the not Dwarf Castle character. Damsian, that's what it's called.
It's all good.
Damsian character. God, Rosa. Well, there's your white mage. Man, this is being way too nice.
It really is. Well, we haven't seen the DPS yet. I mean, not that Yang isn't bad, but again, he's not great early. So we'll see if we get somebody that's a little bit better on the physical DPS side.
Yeah, we're going to need a hook crud to make this seed a lot slower.
One can always hope.
Yep. Anyways,
it looks like BORENSOREN's actually making that trip all the way through, so he's checking a lot more of the chests.
Yeah, so this trip won't cost you as much time with exit.
The nice thing is you can basically walk it all the way to the other end of the other cave and then hit exit and go all the way back to the beginning where your airship is, so it's super convenient.
Yeah, you can get really good items here. You can get tier 7s, you can get a crystal sword, you can get an Avenger, you can get a lot of really strong gear on Watering Pass, so this is definitely a play that makes a lot of sense.
Especially early on, even if you don't necessarily get gear that you're going to use, you need cash, pretty early on, just to be able to buy stuff in shops, get Star Veils and Illusions and Cure 2s and Lifes and all this stuff you need, so having that cash is really, really valuable early on.
Yep. Yes, I'll treat me.
Speaking of good items, there's Star Veils, Lifes,
Kamikazes, and Lifes. This is a pretty good shop.
Actually, it's Soma Drop. I don't know if penguin8r got one, but if you get one for Tela, it will give him the ability to cast Meteo when he gets that ability after going to Ordeals. So that's often a good choice if you need a really high power spell.
Yeah, it's also actually relatively helpful if you're gonna do a D machine, since it lets them cast 1 extra week, which can be really good.
Exactly, weeks are 25 mana, so yeah, if you have 100 instead of 90, that definitely saves some time. Ooh, and we have a Kane here on Ordeals.
Yeah, Kane can be pretty good, but he does need a reset.
Penguin8r is not a fan of Kane, apparently.
I mean, he can be kind of a nuisance at the start. If you don't find something for him right away, that base spear is not really something you want.
Right, just like Yang, he starts super powerless because he starts at like the base character level, you know, whatever Kane is when you literally walk out of Bear at the beginning. Yeah, it's super low.
Yeah, meanwhile, I actually saw a self summon at the Kaipo shop, which yeah, Kaipo.
Pretty spicy, yeah.
Yeah, pretty good summon. We haven't seen the not self slot, Mount Hob summon. God.
That's all good. But yeah, hopefully we'll get. You never know. Like that can be pretty much not everything. It can't be Bahamut, but I think it can be everything else. I've definitely seen Odins and Ashuras and Sylphs come out of it.
Yeah. Sylph would be really nice here. Sylph Glitch is in fact on, so you know that'd be something you could just infinitely cast after doing one fight with Iridia, really.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, here we go on the left, Penguin8r.
All right, what's it gonna be? Sylph.
Bam. So that's super valuable.
Yep, that is really nice to see there.
That's
Sylph for all Radias, in fact.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. You get it once, you get it for every Rydia. And the other thing that's good about it, like for early game, since Rydia is so weak, this makes her completely viable for the early game.
Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of Sylph casting early on, I think.
Yeah, I hope y'all like that long Sylph cast.
Yeah,
enjoy. You're definitely gonna see it a number of times.
Yeah, the only thing that can be annoying about it is, as you said, it's in fact pretty long, which can be annoying, but we'll see. Well, yet another Kane. Penguin8r is gonna nope out of that one.
Oh, he's actually nope walking. I'm surprised he didn't. I guess it is fast enough.
I guess so.
So yeah, mostly we're just kind of getting like a lot of procedural stuff out of the way. Like, check this thing, check all the characters, and now finally Penguin8r is making the first dive into Antlion Cave, so we'll see some key item action going on.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much of it he loots, since he's already looted plenty, but, you know, a little more can't really hurt you that much unless you're just going really overboard like I usually do.
Yeah, I hear that. Knowing when to stop... Ooh, a ninja shirt. Well, if you find a ninja, but that might be cash. But
cash.
Yeah, it's real hard to know when to stop, at least for me. I always over loot.
Yep. BORENSOREN's going to be getting his own self-summon now. He's got to be pretty happy about that. Healing and basically an infinite source of damage and healing. That's just really good.
On top of that, it goes through walls, so and it's single target. So, you know, for bosses like CPU that throw a wall, you can just keep hitting just the main CPU and doing pretty solid damage and keeping your health up. It makes that fight trivial in any spot, honestly.
An interesting thing I just remembered is that they picked up a siren in Waterway. So, yeah, that's going to be useful.
Oh yeah, good point. So yeah, as soon as they get somewhere where they can do a quick siren, they might want to drop that and just like gain like a dozen levels.
Yeah,
the
moment we get underground axes, they might just try and use that to get a boost up or try to get some XP. You never know, though. They also picked up a Silk Web, or at the very least, BORENSOREN picked up a... No, they both did, because they both looted that place. But in Hobbs, there was a Silk Web at the back, so...
Those are always good, yeah. You want at least one of those for Zeromus if you can use it to nerf and also slow Z down at the beginning.
And we're going to see an element at Antlion.
Oh, hi. There's some leg.
Yep.
For a moment, because I think that will be done in just a second. There we go.
Spot does not have that much HP. However, the XP will be cut short, unfortunately, but it's not that much anyways.
Yeah, that place is not somewhere you go to level. Well, except Rydia, but she probably got enough anyway. And an Artie bow for your trouble.
Artie bow. Well, there's Rosa's weapon. Looks like unlike... So BORENSOREN's going to take the Kane over the Sid here. And he's going to be going through the Dark Elf fight at Hobbs. See what he's got for the Kane. He's going to put an Aegis shield and a fire sword.
Yeah, so fire, I mean, it's still not a great weapon, but that's infinitely better than that spear, which does almost no damage at all.
Yeah, it'll do for now.
Oh yeah, and it looks like penguin8r's just speeding along now. He's got, yeah, he put the RD on Rosa, not surprised, and he's going in to defend Fabul.
Mm. It is worth noting that if he goes for the return to Pan objective, he will have to go back to Fabul. So he's basically guaranteeing that he's gonna double the Fabul. While if it was Wake Yang with the Pan, then he could just go to Fabul once, Wake Yang with the Pan, and if Go mode was somewhere else, that could work out.
Yeah, it's a tough choice to make, because the nice thing about Defend is it's super fast and like really low hit points. So, you know, as opposed to doing Ordeals or Baron In, which are your other two that are available this early, I don't know. It's tough. I guess it depends on your situation, but just the fact that like this is such a fast check, and if it has magma, boom, you know, that could be a huge advantage immediately.
Yeah. It's really nice to do if you're unsure of what your party will be able to take on, which I can definitely see. I can definitely see that with this kind of party, even though you do have Self.
Well, yeah, I mean, the party will be able to take on a lot in a little bit, but like right at this point, it's still so early that maybe a couple more levels will make things a little more viable.
Yeah, you definitely want to try and, there's still quite a few bosses, I feel like, in Ordeals that could just stop you dead in your tracks in a lot of situations, so...
Exactly, and you're dealing with a base level Palom, which means he doesn't have any of the level 2 spells, and then, Rydia's not even 100 hit points yet.
Yeah, it's just like, she can barely cast Self, basically.
Yeah, there's Fire 2 Lit too. Yeah, that's much better.
Oh, should be getting Warp about now. Yep, there's Rydia with her Warp extremely early. Well, Palom's gonna have to wait until level 30 to get that.
Yeah, so Warp Glitch is already enabled for penguin8r, which is good just to know, just to have that in the back of your mind.
Time to see what this key item is.
Hook!
It's a hook,
Yes! I love it, thanks, yes. I love it.
Alright, it was being too nice.
Yeah, I need more cruelty. I definitely am pro... Well, okay, maybe that's a little harsh, but I definitely enjoy spicy seeds, and I think the crowd usually enjoys them just as much as I do.
Yeah, this seed was being too generous, so we'll take this.
Another nice thing is you can check the Fabul shop just as, right away when you do defend, you can just jump right in and do the shop check as well. So it's like a nice little 2-in-1 if you're looking for gear, which unfortunately there's none in here. Well, unless you want an Odin, I don't know.
I mean, it has its uses.
True. It looked like you thought about it for a second and decided against it, which it is pretty expensive.
Yeah, it is. Looks like BORENSOREN's about to get, well, yeah, basically. Rest in peace. Blink and you miss it.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, oh, he's about to, oh, it's done. Well, I guess we kind of saw it in our periphery, but there you go. Now he's got the powered up Rosa, probably.
He has the Rosa.
And an edge at Baron In. That's huge. Okay. But a Sparkle. Which well, honestly, you can one-shot the Sparkle, probably.
Yeah, in a lot of spots.
Oh, yeah, Plague. That's
Plague.
Cake.
Even with Count, it's still pretty quick. Just use it on it. Meanwhile, it looks like, see where BORENSOREN's going. Looks like he's going to be going straight to Ordeals.
Yeah, not a bad play either, because you got Tella, and Tella's gonna bring you some serious spell power once he learns all his spells again.
Yeah.
Ooh, and we have a Vanilla Yang Karate over here in Baron In too.
Yup, that is pretty. Where is Dathis? Where are you?
Oh, he's in our hearts and in the siege, literally.
Yeah, he must have rolled this somehow in some weird way. But anyways, another interesting thing as well is not just Tella's going to get leveled up as well, but there's also the potential for a Demist here, which is why both of our runners checked Water Raid, despite there being no key items behind that or anything like that. So that's also useful. And they also don't, if they do get that Tella, they don't have to, that Tella powered up, they don't have to worry about a Sorcerer Warp Glitch, so they're going to be, it's going to be a lot easier to ditch that Rydia if they need be.
Yeah, I could see. Ooh, here's another Sparkle. But yeah, I could see ditching that Rydia if you don't get an actual summon and replacing with some physical DPS. And we got D-Lunars. Those should be pretty trivial in this spot, though, I think.
Yeah, just as long as you don't physically attack them, pop some J items, it shouldn't be that big a deal. You can also use Cure 2 to heal them as they're undead.
It looks like Punchy's being a little punchy over here. Since you don't get to do the usual Cecil hits him once after 3 hits thing, he actually does. You actually have to go through all of his HP, but it looks like he got it.
Yeah, looks like penguin8r also ended up using Blink, which Tella starts with Blink, even if you haven't done ordeals yet, which is incredibly useful. And looks like an Adamant is going to be received there. That's half of Forge, which could be an alternate objective in case something like White Spear ends up being a really mean boss, or just no clue where Baron Key is or something. Can be good for it, but you're not going to generally want to try and just aim for Forge.
Yeah, and so now since we have Hook and we have Pan, we're literally, those 2 objectives for, you have one more key item to get Forge, and you have one more key item to do Baron, and you have one more key item to do White Spear, which is the Darkness Crystal. So really they're just looking for 2 things left, and it's just a matter of which 2 they get and where they are.
Yep, Borensoren's finally through that fight, and he's going to run into a Baigen here. Is it? Okay, so an interesting thing is that penguin8r is actually just going to go straight to Hook here. There is a free character in there. He could also just be checking the shop or checking the character as well. Either of those options work. The shop can be really good, and this place also has pretty good loot, so yeah, understandable. Maybe you also don't want to get through 3 bosses when there's still, Hook can be free,
Yeah, it's a difficult question, and I'm sure that that's something we could ask him, but when you get Hook first and you don't get Magma Key, Magma Key gets you underground immediately, so it's a no-brainer. But with Hook, it's like, okay, well, do I actually want to walk all the way back there? And it turns out, there's a Magma Key on ordeals or something you didn't get, and then you really miss out, and you give a major advantage to your opponent. So it's a tough thing to kind of weigh.
Looks like there were Bacchus wines, hourglasses. That's a pretty nice shop there.
Oh wow, yeah, those hourglasses are really nice for if you want to do monster boxes, especially the Mad Ogres in the top of a tower here. So,
yep.
Is he thinking? Think. Do I exit? And he's exiting. Okay, so yeah, he's probably gonna go take on more of those key item objectives, or maybe go to Eblin Castle actually, because you can also hourglass the monster boxes in there and get super good loot. So I'd be curious to see what he's thinking.
Yeah, you can pick up a lot of really good stuff there, but yeah, makes sense to just go dive there. It does take a while here, and it would really bother me to have to go through that.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
Just leave ordeals alone.
Right, and I mean, he still has the Tella and the value of that Tella, so I don't think there's any reason not to get him powered up, at least this early on.
You do not want to dive Hook early if you aren't sure you can take it on, because then you might end up having to leave and then come back or something, especially when you've got to check behind you. It's like, you leave and then you're like, oh god, I hate this. You go out and then you go through the check, and then it takes you a while, and you can just end up feeling really behind, or it can really hurt you in the long run. So,
yeah,
but diving there to see the shop makes sense.
Yeah, and also, I mean, just the added utility of having that powered up Tella really changes the game in terms of what your options are for casting different stuff. You have better healing options. You've got a lot of the utility in stone and weak and things like that you can cast on the enemy. So it really kind of maximizes your opportunity against whatever bosses end up showing up in Eblin, if that's where you end up going.
Plus, he's got an edge now, so he's gonna be zooming through these fights a lot quicker. Meanwhile, though, Borensoren got a Sand Ruby there, so that's another character check he's gonna be able to get out of the way if he wants to see what the character is. I don't remember if he checked the character there, but we'll see.
Wait, which character? Sorry.
The Sand Ruby character. I don't remember.
Gotcha.
We saw what character that was. I know he went to Kaipo, but I'm not sure. Meanwhile, gonna get through the Kaipo guards really easily there. Not a problem.
Yeah, there's so few hit points in that spot. Honestly, I mean, if you're the runner, you don't want to see a free boss like that there. especially given now that we know that those hourglasses are available. If that was what you saw in the Rubicante spot on the heading underground, like that would be much better to see there than here in some free junk spot where you can easily destroy them.
Yep. But yeah, we'll see what BORENSOREN decides to do. Whether he decides to. Well, he doesn't have the hook yet. Wait, does he not have the? Oh, has he not gone to Fabul?
No, he has not done Fabul yet. He came here first. So yeah, he has that defined first. So, he doesn't have that information, unfortunately.
Right. Well, I mean, it makes sense to fade Fabul. You literally have the key item you're fading it for, and it's an objective. Like I said before, it's return to Pan. So, if you went there already, you're basically guaranteed to do 2 trips there. And like, if you do it there, where it's like, all right, well, I might not have to use Pan at all here. If you want to do that objective, you're gonna have to go back to Fabul.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if BORENSOREN is fading it as long as he can, and in hopes of finding underground access some other way in some other location, so he doesn't have to do it until coming back up. As the Rivers Mincown one-time Fabul check special.
Yep.
You, in fact, love to see it, although probably most likely not what we're going to see this time.
They have checked the Waterway boss, and it was Alt Gauntlet, unfortunately, so...
Yeah, I don't think they've checked the miss spot, unless I'm misremembering.
They have not. I don't even think they've flown over in that area.
Yeah, I think you're right. They just kind of flew around and went to Watery Pass, so...
I mean, it is kind of out of the way, so it's understandable.
Yeah, a lot of times trying to route things, it's like, even just like a little off center, if you're like... going to a specific spot, you're like, I'll come back when I route it in a different direction and all this. So
looks like BORENSOREN's just gonna say, I'm gonna go do Fabul right now.
He's gonna get that hook info real fast, so I'm very curious to see if he tries to just dive that immediately and get the items and the character check and potentially just go down, or if he's gonna go around, because I would not be surprised, given penguin8r's past experience with FE and how good he is, that you might want to try and outplay him meta-wise and try and do a quick check instead of going through everything and see if that pays off. But yeah, right now we are seeing a repeat of bosses on either end, so not the most interesting spot. So we are seeing penguin8r just finished off Ordeals, which unsurprisingly went very, very fast, and we will be seeing just as fast Octomam taken down on BORENSOREN's side, so he will get that hook momentarily.
Yeah. I mean, that edge is just gonna make all the difference in the world. Gonna make that so much faster to get through Ordeals. He's definitely gonna be saving time in that way.
Yeah, the thing about Edge is, like, late game, you definitely want him to get better weapons and stuff, but early game, not only does he have good gear with, like, good offensive boosts to it, his swords are weak, but he's also a high level, so he has a lot more hit points and does a lot more damage than a lot of the other characters do. So getting him early really is just a huge advantage early game.
Yeah, he's the best character you can see out there, like, objectively, basically.
Yeah, in terms of physical DPS, like, he's the character I probably want to see the most with these flags. Obviously, Cecil would usurp him in a lot of other flag sets, but given the vanilla agility situation, I think he takes the cake here. Plus the fact that you if you want to find sirens, you have that ability to just steal sirens when you get underground with Edge. So he has a lot of extra utility that Cecil doesn't have. Although Cecil does have the ability to cover his party, which is also really useful in a lot of grind situations and tough bosses and stuff.
Yeah, cover strats are a pretty big thing, especially in something like, what's it called? Hook route.
Hey, yeah, that place. Yeah,
yeah,
so,
I know.
But yeah, he can make things, you put him in the back row and then have him cover, and then he can cover front row characters and have back row damage get dealt to him. So it really is a big boost to being able to take care of stuff. If you get him with really good armor on top of that, it can really make a fight a lot more trivial.
Yeah. penguin8r just set a new world record for resetting out of Ogopogo. in that mist cave, so congratulations to him. But yeah, that's not demist, so.
And congratulations to our runners who don't have to face Ogopogo.
Yep. That's something you don't want to see in Hook. Oh, BORENSOREN, true final boss. There it is.
Yeah, that lady likes to get right in the way of that exit a lot. Always blocks your way when you're trying to get back there and use the pass route or anything like that. She'll rough you up.
Yep.
All right, looks like penguin8r is definitely making the trip down. He's not doing any chest checking anymore. I think he's probably done on that stuff. So he's going to go, and we're going to find out who the character is and who is at the Rubicante spot.
Heroin Robe, apparently, for... Yup, that's really nice. Artie Bo Rosa with a freaking Heroin Robe, that's strong.
Wow, yeah. Depending on the boss, like that might crush just about any boss, especially in the King Queen Eblin spot, because it's not a lot of hit points. If you throw Berserk on her, she's gonna absolutely destroy everything. And here's a Cecil too, so that's an interesting question.
Well, they don't have any holy swords yet, and it's about to... that's a good question. No holy swords yet, and he can hurt you in Hook right now, so...
I would bet that penguin8r's not going to take him. Just because of that whole agility nonsense, he doesn't really need to with the party makeup he has right now, unless he's really hoping for a holy sword later on. I at least personally don't like to take him without a holy sword already in my possession, because otherwise you just don't know. It's a gamble, and it's going to make things so much harder.
Yeah, and it looks like he agrees with you because he's going to be taking Moonveil. Wow.
Thanks. So there's another free fight somewhere or other, you know?
Well, okay. So Moonveil, not only does it do the same thing as a Star Veil, it lasts longer, and it applies the same effect as Blink, but I believe it's infinite, so it's ridiculously good.
Yeah, any boss that you're fighting that does a lot of physical damage is basically made... one character will just not die for that fight, and you can beat the boss trivially or whatever. You know, you don't have to worry about doing it the normal way. You can just cheese it. So it's super nice to have one of those around in your pocket.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like it is a Hook seed, thankfully. So, you know. Now we're just hoping for some real mean thing here.
Yeah, King Queen can be real punchy. Although, wow, did penguin8r even save? I don't know if he did. Oh, he might.
He did not save.
He's checking for Mad Ogre spot, so he might go back and save after this, because he's got those hourglasses to take this out real fast. And on top of that, he can life glitch, which, for those who don't know, when you kill off an enemy that doesn't have if they don't have a boss bit, you can use a life spell or item on them as they're dying. And when they get quote-unquote resurrected, they have 0 vitality and die again, and you actually get double the experience for killing them. So it's a huge boon in experience for these characters.
Another interesting thing is you can get double life glitches, which is... I don't think it's going to happen, but it is something that can happen. You can use more than one life potion on an enemy, but it's pretty hard to do.
Yeah, especially, I mean, it's harder if you're just doing a straight-up attack. It's easier if you're casting a spell with a decent cast time, like an Ice 2 or something like that. That definitely makes it more possible. And it looks like BORENSOREN is now also equipped with an edge, so he's going to have that same power. And I think he is done with everything up here, and he's also going to be on his way to Hook route.
Artemis arrows for him.
Wow, even more power for Rosa.
Yeah, that is a lot of power.
But yeah, at this point, we know the Rubicante spot... Oh, wait, did he mean to have encounters on? Is he doing some leveling? It looks like. Interesting. Yeah, I guess his levels are pretty low, and those HP values are not optimal. So I can see that he wants to get a little bit more XP as a buffer here, especially because we don't know who's in King Queen spot yet. But I mean, given that we know that CPU is in the Rubicante spot, like, that's free. I mean, you have Sylph. You can just continually cast Sylph on the big CPU and take out the defender, and, you know, as long as, well, the Sylph will do the healing, so you're good. You can just get through that free.
BORENSOREN just picked up a curse string out of the aggregate shop.
Ooh, that's excellent. That will be really
And
helpful.
he found longswords.
Wow, great. So yeah, now he has a little bit more power with his edge. I like to search if I find those in shops. I definitely want to buy those with edge because they're pretty cheap and they give a decent enough boost to be worth buying, I think. So penguin8r is saving, which is a good idea. Getting everything ready to go before the boss is here. See, yeah, somebody in chat is saying that penguin8r was going for the Quack Kid online, which is a really good idea. Unfortunately, even though Tele gets all those spells when he learns them on Ordeals, he does not get Quake, which is a really good group attack that does not account for walls or anything. And we have Leviathan here in the King Queen spot, which I don't know what the magic value is here. I don't think this is actually that bad though.
Well, I mean, if he did get float, he could float and then just sylph over and over and over, since he counters with.
Yeah, that's right. If you cast a summon on Leviathan, something that I've learned recently for reasons because I made mistakes, and yeah, he'll throw a quake down on your whole party and wipe you out.
I made the mistake and then I just used float and cheesed it.
But yeah, with Quake, you don't even need to worry about. Oh, see, he's probably doing Sylph right at the end here, which this should probably finish off Leviathan. This is a pretty low HP spot, I think. So that might be enough.
Not the toughest hook boss there, and CPU is just gonna take a while. So really, in the end, this is just gonna be kind of a slowdown for this hook boss. Oh, it's Pale Dim with the Quake counters. Okay.
Oh, is it Pale Dim? Oh, thank you for the correction, Flurry.
Yep. Okay. Don't want to spread misinformation.
Indeed. But yeah, unfortunately this underground trip is more or less trivial. I mean, it is a little bit of a time sink, but they're probably both going to get through this pretty easily.
Oh, he's going for float strat. So one thing you can do is you can reflect float off of your party to try and get it to reflect onto. So you can kill one of the 2 orbs. I'm guessing he's probably going to kill Defender because the healing's kind of hard to out damage. And he's going to reflect float off of the Veil and hope it hits attacker so that it can't get hit by the Quake. So he can just constantly keep going and quaking without having to worry about hitting and killing the attacker, and then it'll be just this whole issue. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's one of those fun little spicy strats with this boss. I'm actually surprised he's taking out the Defender first because if you do the reflect float strats, having an extra enemy up actually makes it. Oh,
he still got it.
He got it on the first try anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yep. So now he can cast Quake. That attacker will not die. And what happens if the little orbs die? Then CPU starts casting something called Globe 199, which is basically an insta kill for all of your for one of your party members. So you don't really want to see that. And then the orbs come back anyway. So this way he can just cast Quake as much as he wants, and he's using Bluff, which will give him a huge power boost.
Yeah, 15. 15, what was the stat again?
Wisdom. Yeah,
Wisdom,
so plus 15 Wisdom is the equivalent of the Stardust Rod. So it's a Stardust Rod with 1 use, and I think it's multi-use. So you can get pretty powerful.
Yeah. Basically, Palom grows another arm, and he equips a Stardust Rod.
So once he's done bluffing 4 times, he looks kind of interesting, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Also, another important thing, BORENSOREN picked up a chest that penguin8r didn't and found a defense sword, so that's going to be real good for that Kane.
Oh yeah, good point.
Wait,
thought about that.
Kane?
But he doesn't have a Kane. It looks like
he doesn't have the Kane, and he didn't take the Cecil. Okay,
interesting. So now he has a good weapon to throw. It's going to be some damage there.
Always good for darting. Looks like he's going to do Mad Ogres. That's always nice to do, try to get Quack Kid online.
Yeah, that makes this fight just a lot quicker. Like, it already was trivial because you could just honestly cast Sylph over and over again and win the fight because constantly healed, you're never going to have enough damage done to you or anything, so it's done. But it will also take a while. So being able to cast Quake is going to basically make it like twice as fast at least. So I can see the advantage to doing that here. I'm personally more of a fan of the blink strats, but obviously this isn't the party for that. Where you blink the attacker, and then you just have your DPS go berserk and go ham, and then just keep reapplying blink, and just let them do their, boosted berserk damage on the CPU and take them out that way. I love doing it that way. It's so fun. And it looks like BORENSOREN is going right on penguin8r's tail here and going to be facing Leviathan. I don't think he went after the Mad Ogre chest, so he's not going to have those levels. This might be a tougher fight for him.
Don't think he has Quake.
No, he definitely wouldn't, because he's a lot lower level. Well, is this... No, yeah, his...
No, he shouldn't.
Yeah, he shouldn't.
Maybe Virus? Well, we'll see when he looks at his spells. Looks like he's going to be zerking the edge.
Yeah, he's got the virus. So virus
got
virus is also nice. I mean, it's basically Quake, but it's a single target, and you can't get past walls. But like in terms of damage, it's instant cast. So it's such a great spell to cast, and the sound that it makes is so good. Sorry, that was
I respectfully disagree with that.
I had to take the dig.
I find it more annoying than Sylph.
I just don't know, man. I can't agree with you on that. But anyway, penguin8r is basically through. He has the one little orb left, and he's going underground. So
continue.
Okay, given the levels that BORENSOREN has, I'm guessing that the CPU fight's going to take a decent bit longer, unfortunately. So, we'll see how he does, but it might be. But he is actually going for the Mad Ogres first, so he might get that Quake first. That's good. That's really good to see.
Maybe he just forgot about the chest?
Could be. And top of tower is... Oh, so that's the hypo guards, right? Or no, wait. I guess it could be...
The Baron guards. They're flipped. Dang it.
Yeah, they're flipped. That's right. So, yeah, we'll see.
Annoying.
Yeah, we'll see those guys up at the top, and that they're honestly free because you've got hourglasses.
Yep,
they can be
they're
taken care of immediately. He could go walk that right now if he wanted.
BORENSOREN is going to be using Size on them. That's going to make the Mad Ogres incredibly weak and super easy to one-shot there.
Yeah, they're only going to be doing like 1 damage a hit, so you don't have to worry about their big old fists anymore. Not surprisingly, penguin8r is going to go after the objective, which also will grant him 3 more key item checks, which is taking out the pan here in Sylph Cave. So he's going to go beat up on Yang a little bit, and then give his wife Sheila the pan back.
Fortunately, because we don't have a Yang in our party, we can't go do the meme. But
yeah, that's okay.
Oh well,
Edge is the superior Yang anyway, so you know.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we'll just walk through here, smack Yang violently with the pen, and then we'll go complete the first objective.
Yeah, you don't actually get the objective until you hand the pan back, which is the final of the 3 checks. And a pink tail is his reward, which is a key item, and he can check it via the hook, but since it does not have adamant on these flag sets, it's not as useful. So I would suspect if he gets a rat tail, he'll check it, but most likely not otherwise.
Well, so what happens with pink tail is that it's a guaranteed tier 7 item, which can have some really good gear, especially for an edge, So I wouldn't be surprised if he checked it, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he didn't check it. It's kind of thing you just kind of do here. But looks like he's going to get the Enterprise here, because the Falcon can't actually use the hook, which is unfortunate, because I like the Falcon, but...
It looks like maybe he's just making the drop-off, but he might actually check that pink tail while he's at it, since he's right there.
Yeah, if you're gonna make this, then you may as well go check it. Or not, I guess. Way to make me eat my words. I guess what he's doing is he's checking in case this is a rat tail, and then he can just go do them in one go.
Yeah, that actually is a smart idea if that's his thought process. But either way, you get these 2 checks. He's already at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 key items, so chance for 2 more. Definitely always on the lookout to try and get to 10 key items, so that when you actually get a chance to do your grind, it'll be a lot easier. And of course, there's the Magna Key. Thanks for that help. And the Legend Sword.
So, that's Forge. Okay.
Yeah, the Forge is online. Feel bad for the people not taking a Cecil right about now.
Yeah, well, neither of them did, so that means that it's not going to be that great of an advantage.
It is still a nice throwable item, though. That's a good weapon to hurl at Z at the end.
Yeah, you can't dart a crystal sword, but you can sure as heck dart Excalibur.
Exactly. Okay, and yeah, he did exactly have your idea, so he's checking Pinktail right now, so hopefully that'll be a good item.
Oh, so we want a Masamune here, if it's what they want. We want a crystal sword. That's exactly what we wanted.
That's what we want in our hearts. That's so hilarious. I'm sorry. Oh, that's
got him. It's always a crystal sword.
Well, always a crystal sword if you don't have a Cecil.
And then it's always a Masamune when you don't have an edge.
Exactly.
And then when you have 2 Cecils, oh baby, you're gonna get it like, You're gonna get Bahamut, that's what you're gonna get. Thunderclaw, yes!
And the Thunderclaw, the best
there it
claw.
is. Best claw.
Yeah, Thunderclaw is so good because so many bosses are weak against Thunder, and it really the boost in damage is so huge that you can take off one of Edge's, like, even if he has a strong sword, and put the claw on him, and he will still do the multiple damage will still be significant enough to make it way higher.
Yeah, he does like 4 times damage or something crazy like that.
Yeah, it's huge. Which is why, like, having him early now, since you don't have the what's the flag that makes it so that Edge is not in, that is only in key, behind key item checks. I forget what it is called. But since that's not on, you have the ability to get Edge earlier, which is why we see so much more of him. C standard? Okay. C relaxed. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah. C relaxed is what's on here, which allows you to get Edge anywhere. Normally, since Edge is so strong on C standard, you can only get him behind key item gated places like Eblin Shop, or the Eblin check, for example.
Yeah, and another important thing to mention is that Fu is not available in this flag set, so no Fusoya.
Yeah, he's a pretty powerful guy when you get him, so it does make things a little tougher. It makes routing a little bit different, and your only real option for a D-Machine grind is actually using Tele instead, which is maybe less efficient sometimes, but it's not that bad either. I'm actually surprised to see penguin8r. He's doing a lot of these checks here in Dwarf, so he must be looking for some more good gear, maybe getting some more cash.
Well, you can exit out of here, just like you can use Warp Glitch. But it'll be interesting to see if he decides to do Dwarf Castle right now. It is 2 checks, and you only need Darkness Crystal or Baron Key for go. Well, no, you still need Darkness or Pass.
Yeah, as Fluffy Mittens mentions, the thing that's nice about doing this Forge check, which, I mean, it's required, obviously you want to do it anyway, but the nice thing about it is that, even if you get the X-Cal, which you can't equip right now with no Cecil, the Kakol shop opens up, and that shop is the spiciest gear shop in the game. You can get you can get tier 7 stuff in there, Zeus gauntlets and such, so it is really worth your time.
Yep, not only an objective, but it also gives you access to just a really strong shop.
Yeah, it's always worth checking out. I usually come here and I go, okay, there's like a Protect Ring, there's Zeus and Crystal. Zeus gauntlets are extremely powerful.
Zeus Gauntlet Crystal, or Crystal Ring, and there's Moon Veils. Yes, that's a sick shop, yeah. Yeah,
and so at this point, you're just like, okay, fire sale, sell everything I can and get Probably get Zeus. Probably get like at least one crystal ring because the defense on that is so good that it really makes things a lot easier for keeping a character up. Oftentimes I put that on like a Rosa or a Rydia, and their survivability goes up exponentially because there's a lot of physical and magic defense on that thing.
Can also help with Golbez.
Is it the crystal ring that protect? I always forget those two.
It's got to be the crystal ring. I think it's a crystal ring. Heron Robe, I think, also protects against hold.
Oh, we get a job check too, potentially?
Job check? No.
Oh, we picked
man, no.
But he did get a curse ring in there, which is really useful for him. So he now also has that curse ring.
He better get punished.
Yes. You skipped the meme. It is time for your meme punishment. Unfortunately, I don't think that's the way it works. Yes, that is his heel turn. He is now a heel. He is a free enterprise heel.
Oh, gonna sell the X-Cal away. Is he buying the Drain Spears for darting? Alright.
That's super funny.
That's a strat.
And sirens have been found.
Oh my goodness, there's the sirens. Well, there you go.
Yeah, that being said, now grinding is basically free because you can just buy a ton of these. You don't need to worry about doing any kind of grind on the giant. You can just do egg grinds here until you get enough, to take everything out here, and then maybe save some for the moon and do some King Ryus because you've got those hourglasses. You've got a lot of options with those sirens, but leveling is now basically trivial.
But he doesn't have that much money right now, so he's gonna fade it for now, especially considering, it's in Tamara, which is pretty quick to get to. It's not, if it was like in Feymarch shop, you might consider not taking it, or you might consider trying to scrounge around enough money, maybe even selling the Crystal Sword, but it's a quick shop to get to anyway, so you can go around and shop for little something more, try to get some more key items, try to get some more loot to sell, stuff like that.
Yeah, and honestly, it looks like he might be going for more loot here because he is looting Feymarch, and the Feymarch chests are really spicy. He is taking on this monster box though, so I'm curious what he's going to try here to try and take him out.
Not enough MP for Quake.
Yeah, I guess that was his original plan, and then that didn't work out, unfortunately.
Yeah, he was trying to get that Palomari 1, but yeah. Well, meanwhile, we're gonna see even more trap chests. BORENSOREN's gonna go steal some sirens.
Yeah, the nice thing about doing the steal is that you don't have to worry about buying them if you don't have a lot of cash. So you can actually just steal them here. It takes a little longer to get them. I guess except if you had to loot chests otherwise. So being able to do this really early on is not a bad idea because you can just get them, go and get your levels immediately, and have that level power before you even start taking anything on.
Problem is, it takes a while, and Edge is not the greatest thief in the world. I say as he hasn't failed to steal yet, but
Oh, it looks like penguin8r didn't quite get all of the warriors out with that shot, but he did take out. He has taken out 3 of them, so it's a close one here. Oh, that Boreas is going to finish him off, though.
Well, we'll see what he's planning to. Not the greatest thief in the Final Fantasy series.
Yeah, he's the only thief in this one, though. Obviously.
Yeah,
But yeah, that Ether 2 wasn't super worth it. Obviously got some XP out of it, which isn't always bad, although he doesn't need as much with sirens. But it looks like he is doing all the chests down here, and these chests, since they're so good, are going to give him probably a decent amount of money, and a Murasame, which is obviously going to power up Edge right away, so love to see it.
Oh, Murasame?
Yeah, Murasame was in one of the chests in Feymarch.
Ooh, that's big.
So yeah, now you get an idea of what T Wildish will bring you with these types of chest checks in here, and it's the good stuff.
Yeah, Treasury is also insane.
Oh yeah, Treasury is a beautiful thing. Unfortunately, with Sparse 60, what that does is it makes 40% of the chests in the game, randomly, 40% of the chests are empty. And you got a tower key, so he can actually do the one-shot tower and take out both bosses, since you know the top boss is free.
Or if he randomly decides to do a penguin8r special, which would be pretty funny, but I don't think he's gonna do that right now.
Oh, is that the half tower?
Yeah, half tower.
Oh, I love doing half tower, but it's not obviously not useful in this scenario. But yeah,
yeah, it's only really if you feel like you're behind or something.
That coffins make that boss at the top of tower even more trivial, because now you can just throw one, and it's gonna take out each of the characters in turn. Like that's gonna be super fast.
Meanwhile, BORENSOREN's gonna be popping some sirens, trying to get some levels to maybe make some checks easier. Wonder where he's gonna go next. Looks like he hasn't turned in Pan yet. So
that's good though. Yeah, don't wanna wait on this too much longer. Just get this out of the way. It's obviously we know its value.
Check your freebies, kids.
Check your freebies. Check your required. Always check what's required if you can.
Speaking of freebies, that's a water hag. Now, it's not quite free because it hits like a truck, but it's definitely doable, and you can definitely try and squeeze some experience out of it by trying to life some characters that may have gotten punched to death.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised just to see him like hold the A button down and just try and get those shots off as quickly as possible. Sometimes you can just kind of get through it that way and then life up as needed. But it looks like he's also manipulating agility a little bit so that he's going to get more party members to attack. Unfortunately, though, on the other side, that the Magus Sisters will definitely not be as free.
Yeah.
Not as bad as some places, but because you can, there's 3 targets and the HP are split between them and you can quake them all, but it's still not going to be fun.
I see. He's using Thor Rages. Items will just come out instantly, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about accuracy on those. I'm pretty sure they hit 100% of the time. But yeah, look, that one shot on Rosa, who's in the back row, who I think actually has good gear on, and knocked her out in one shot.
Looks like he doesn't care.
Yeah, I'm guessing he probably just is not worried. I mean,
he can get sirens. He can steal them, and he knows where they are in the shop, so... I mean, it's not a problem.
Exactly, you just go in here and you get the checks. Get this key item check out of the way so you don't have to worry about it, but probably end up fading that Magus Sister spot if I'd guess.
Yeah, well, we'll see what this key item is, because if it's darkness, and that's go mode.
Yeah, that would break this seed wide open.
We are darkness away from go mode here.
The Bahamut, I mean...
Well, Radia's pretty happy with that, unless you just want to cast Sylph for 17 hours.
Yeah, I think this gives Rydia superpowers basically through mid-game. I mean, she's going to be your strongest magic dealer at this point, because Bahamut's basically like a slightly slower casting nuke that is that hits all targets.
Ignores wall.
Oh yeah, Mega. Oh, that's right. Well, wait. Oh, so that's even better than Mega Nuke, because Mega Nuke doesn't. But I see what you mean. You're right. It ignores wall, which is another huge part.
It looks like Magus Sisters might have been a lot more doable with that. But
that's true. You got Quake then, and on top of that, you can also cast the Bahamut. So yeah, that would be a lot of multi-target damage. But he's still pretty weak.
Would still be pretty tough though. So I'm not blaming him for fading it when you've got 2 other checks to do. I'm only surprised if you faded that for like the rest of the seed, basically. Yeah,
totally. They're gonna be doing some damage. So no reason to deal with that. There's so many quicker checks. It's definitely worth doing it. But it looks like BORENSOREN's taking a long, hard stare at that water hag and thinking.
He's gonna reload.
He's going to tent. He just didn't want to walk back, so he's tenting and he's gonna go take it on. Which, yeah, it's a good idea at this point.
Yeah, saving, checking him, and then racing out of it and tenting or something. Looks like we're not going to be getting a penguin8r special. Unless he just does keyless tower only. How many cannons does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, so he's pretty definitely going to be doing both of these. Because, yeah, if you get 10, then it makes things way faster.
Yeah, he's 1 key item away from go mode. Darkness, or Bearing Key, which would technically give him the crystal, but not quite go mode because he wouldn't have a way to go.
Yeah, you're right.
The other piece of Forge was Sheila 2.
Okay, that's right. Has I guess BORENSOREN hasn't gone back above ground yet. Is that right? Yeah, because he has that magma key either. That's what it is. Okay, I remember now.
Well, We're gonna get that free boss here, the Baron Guards. Looks like BORENSOREN's kind of struggling with the Water Hag here.
Yeah, he had one more character die, but it's done. So
And they
you'll
both
get that
did.
same info.
So we'll see here. Well, these coffins are going to significantly trivialize this boss. Coffins work like Fatal, except they're not. They don't take 6 years to cast.
Yeah, and I want to say, I don't know if I've ever seen them not work on a character, on an enemy that it would work on. Like, Darkness
that's
Crystal.
go mode.
Go mode high.
That's go mode and 10 key items once they finish off the vanilla White Spear altar.
Yeah, I'm wondering though if Penguin8r's gonna want to wait for that, or if he's gonna want to try and get that 10th key item first. Because by the time you're at the White Spear altar, you're all the way down there. Maybe you want to actually do the leveling beforehand. I'm not sure.
He's gonna check Tower Key to try and get a 10th key item to try and get his grinding done here, I would imagine. But he knows where hourglasses are, and there's a shop with sirens, so he could do his grinding on gold.
And he's throwing a Drain Spear. Nice, love it.
You love to see it. You love to see that wyvern there.
One meme got thrown at another meme and destroyed it.
Oh man. Yep, crisis averted.
That's beautiful.
What a video game.
It's so great. I love that every seed is just totally different, and you have no idea what you're gonna see when until you play. Obviously, like things change so much. You can have a seed that's over in like 45 minutes or like 2 hours. You don't know if you need to go to the moon or not. There's all sorts of different things that randomize stuff, and it's really interesting how versatile it is.
Well, it looks like BORENSOREN's gonna be going for the Magus Sisters. Looks like he's gonna be using Bahamut. Hopefully Radia doesn't get targeted by BORENSOREN. I swear to God.
Literally, wait, that's what we call a commentator's curse. Even though it's not possible because there's a 15-minute delay, you still went back in time and you cursed him.
The board face AI is so advanced, it predicted I was gonna make that comment.
Yeah, that's very true. It's gone Skynet at this point.
Yeah, it's just. Oh man!
I gotta think BORENSOREN's looking to reset at this point.
Cindy, please. Oh man, this is Magus Sisters group, right?
This is Magus Sisters group. Maybe he's trying to go for the meme win here. I don't know, but yeah. Unfortunately, we know that. Well, it could actually have value, but we know that a much faster and easier value is available at the top of tower. Actually, I totally missed it. Did it? What was it? What was the tower key item? Sorry, I was looking at the Magus Sisters. I totally missed it.
That was all right. Tracker, please. Or doesn't look like it was value.
Yeah, there's no key item up there, so I'm guessing. Oh, it was a ninja hat. I mean, you don't hate it, I guess. Yeah, obviously it wasn't super worthwhile. It looks like he might be doing exactly what you're thinking, and just I was gonna say he's gonna go head up to.
No, because so think about it this way. He can. Okay, never mind. I thought he was gonna go shop for hourglass.
That actually might be what he's doing.
Oh, no, yeah, okay, he doesn't have... Where's my hovercraft, dude?
Yeah, so now those hourglasses are going to make grinding on the moon trivial, because, even if you have a limited number of sirens, which in this case he does, you can take on the... if you use sirens in the right spot, you'll get 2 gold dragons. And the gold dragons are a ton of XP, even without 10 key items. And then you can life glitch one of them, so you basically get 3 for the price of 2. With the hourglasses, it shuts them down, and you can destroy them immediately.
Ooh, looks like he's gonna sell that hourglass, or not the hourglasses. The freaking crystal sword.
It's all right. Words are hard. I understand.
So yeah, he's gonna sell the crystal sword there. Giving up on Cecil. That is the exact moment when Cecil's gonna be at Moon. But I don't think. Oh, yeah, well.
At this point, his party is... it's endgame party. Like, it's not going to be a big deal. And there's a spoon. Nice. So a meme was behind the other meme of Magus Sisters, since it's Magus Sister group. But
Where's
yeah,
her spoon word?
Spoon. Yeah, there's no Eddie in the seed so far that I've seen, so that's one thing you don't have. But
Eddie at moon.
one thing that he will have over penguin8r is when he does the pan check and get that, he will, and then gets the darkness crystal at the top of tower, he will have 10 key items. So his grind could be easier that way.
Fortunately, there's like a 0% chance we see Eddie stretch or something like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, with this much access to sirens, like, there's actually not really a reason to do them. Well, plus, I mean, you still have to. It's not like we're already in go mode and good to go. Like, he has to take on the White Spear Altar, and that can be dicey depending on the boss.
Yeah, they could still be really bad, but he has the sirens and he has all that stuff. So you know. He can grind before it. And I won't say he's guaranteed to grind, because that's not true at all. You can't really know sometimes, but he can grind before taking on that White Spear. If he says, okay, this White Spear is not something I want to deal with right now, I want my levels, he can go do that as well.
X-Pancrab's asking, did penguin8r buy more than 2 of the initial sirens? I guess the ones that were in chest. And the answer is yes. I don't remember how many. It was maybe only like 3 or 4, because he didn't have a lot of cash, but he did buy some. Yeah.
And he went to get Bacchus.
Oh, he went to get more. Okay, good. So he has even more than that.
He got Bacchus wines and he got hourglasses. Artie Bo Rosa is gonna destroy the King Ryus.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, with the Artie Bow, they're gonna be trivialized as well. So that's a lot.
And Artie arrows if he chooses to.
Hey, guess who's here?
Every time. Every freaking time.
Oh, it's so beautiful. You love to see it.
You love to see it, dude. First, you got rid of the Cecil. Then you found the Crystal Sword, like, immediately after. Or no, wait, you found the Axe Cowl. Then you found the Crystal Sword. And then you find and then you ditch the Crystal Sword. And then you find the Cecil.
I feel like that's the first question we need to ask him in the interview is, how did you feel knowing when you sold that Crystal Sword that Cecil was going to show up in the moon?
Oh, man. See, this seed would have gone very differently if Vanilla Agility was not on.
Oh, yeah.
We would have seen Cecil just partying.
And that gives you an idea. I mean, you know, Cecil is pretty overpowered when you have Holy Swords, so that Vanilla Agility really does kind of nerf his capabilities a lot and make him not as obviously useful in every party scenario. So it makes you have to think about stuff, because it does muck with your agility and stuff like that.
Yeah, essentially the only way to really have a proper anchor if you're going to take a Cecil is to have another, which is a pretty... Unless it's like, oh, here's a Cecil in the overworld for free, and here's another one, or something like that. It can be hard to do that, so, you know.
And even then, you'd want to at least have that, like, Crystal Sword or X-Cal, so you know that that's actually a viable strat. Otherwise, you'd probably want to dump him.
Yeah, so... You never know, and this flag set makes you think about stuff, makes you think about that, thanks to Vanilla Agility.
Exactly, and it looks like BORENSOREN is in Dwarf Castle, taking on these bosses over here, so he's not going to be doing the fast trek up to Tower yet, but he also has not checked the pan, which makes me really concerned, because that's the freebie that's like right on the table. If he gets that, then he knows he has an objective completed, so that would be a huge advantage to have that.
I can definitely see why he's doing this, because there's Threemus.
Hey, bonus round, just at the top, just in the nick of time.
Yep. But I can definitely see why he's doing this, because he's probably trying to get his checks more efficiently. So down here, he gets 2 checks, and then up in pan, he also gets 2 checks. But if, say, Go Mode were to be here, or if Darkness were to be one of these 2 checks, then it'd definitely be more efficient.
Yeah, I mean, I can see there's some efficiency to it, but I don't know. That's tough, because honestly, this whole trip...
Yes! Please!
Hey,
please!
does he keep
Please!
Spoonward?
No!
He does not. I'm sorry. The dream is dead, unfortunately.
Aw, man.
Yeah, so with these flags, Spoon is on. What that means is that is that Eddie can actually equip a spoon, which is something that the vanilla game you can't do. But the spoon is usually a throwable, and it's 255 attack power. So you put it on Eddie, even if Eddie is like level 1, and it's Eddie, like he doesn't have a lot of attack power, he will still beat up faces. But the downside is he doesn't ever get like good HP until you get to like level 80. So you can only use him in certain scenarios. It's definitely a little dangerous to do it.
So the X. Oh man. Well, he's gonna be blinking a lot here. Darting actually makes sense here, since you. First of all, if you miss time 1, then you won't get punished as hard. You can't burst here because that means, well, you can, but you'll lose a ton of time because you'll counter with cold mist, and dart. It won't trigger fight is the only thing that will trigger cold mist when he's in his mist form, so makes sense.
Ooh, gets a Bahamut off. Yeah, this Threemus is not long for this world, unfortunately, or fortunately in his case.
Yep. I'd like to see that at Elements and be required, but
Oh, and the warp glitch has been done, and BORENSOREN gets from Luca Cave the white shirt, which is good. Obviously not what he's looking for, unfortunately, but it's still pretty good.
Maybe slap that on Res FF4FE if you want, if you're prioritizing heals, but you never know. Wow, that is a bad item from the White Spear Altar.
And he is in go mode.
That's just some money.
Honestly, I mean, at this point, he's, going into the Z fight. That's actually a pretty decent damage throwable.
Oh, boy.
He might want to use that.
Baron Key.
Oh, did the Baron Key come out?
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Heckin' whoa. Yeah, so that means that since he does not have this information... Well, on the other hand, there's one other spicy alternative, which would be that he goes and checks Pan, gets the Legend, and does Baron, and gets the pass. That could make things interesting, but I'm not sure if that's what's going to happen, obviously. But he will also be in go mode. Well, no, he still needs Moon
He has
access.
Tower Key.
Yeah.
So he should have it.
Wait, which? Legend Sword?
He has Pan.
No,
oh,
yeah.
Where was Tower Key?
Yeah, where was Tower Key? I don't remember. But no, he hasn't checked Pan, is what I was trying to say. So he doesn't have Legend yet.
Could have sworn Tower Key was Sheila 1 or 2.
No, Sheila 1 was Magma Key, and Sheila 2 was Legend Sword.
Okay, very much. I was like, I thought that was a mistake for the track, but now it's a mistake in my brain.
Thank you, Fluffy Mittens. Yeah, that was the water hack spot, I believe.
I see. Oh well, looks like gonna be doing the gold dragons. I mean, you have a Rosa who's just gonna destroy those things thanks to that. Thanks to that crazy. Thanks to the Arduo. Jeez.
It's all right. We all know words are hard, but yeah. Having Rosa this way is going to be real nice. Hopefully, he's got what will be useful, in terms of curing and stuff when he gets to the Z fight, which I'm guessing he's probably almost ready for. He probably only needs a couple of these sirens. Now that he has 10 key items, he can just kind of go through this real fast. Okay, and it looks like, oh yeah, BORENSOREN also has 10 key items, because I believe he also he has the Legend Sword as well. So he'll be able to do his grind, and it will be pretty efficient too. He'll probably be able to just do if he has enough sirens, he might do the egg grind here, honestly, since he doesn't know yet that he has moon access.
Well, yeah, he's gonna be forging, and he's gonna be one objective away from having the crystal. He still won't have access, but you know what? If Palace was there, it could be a lot closer of a raise, but we'll see how it ends up. See what he buys here as well, off the Coca-Cola shop.
Yeah, I mean, logically for him, like with the information he has, like there's no reason not to do Baron, because he knows that is an objective. So you might as well check it. You might get Darkness Crystal out of there. You might get Pass. So that's definitely going to be his path. We'll see if it has the value he wants, though.
Unless he was like, well, it's penguin8r and I want to try and, I don't know, steal this one, so he gambles on it something, but I doubt it.
Yeah, no. I mean, if Baron doesn't have anything, I would almost guarantee that Tower is the next thing he does, unless, of course, it, like, brings some other ideas up. Who knows what kind of path
Twin Harp, and he decides to be a man of the people.
Right, exactly. You get Twin Carp, you could get Earth Crystal, you know, Rat Tail. Like, there's any things, there's a number of things. He doesn't know where Mist Dragon is. Like, you know, there's a lot of things he might not know about or be thinking about as well. So, either way, Baron is probably his next destination.
Yeah. But I mean, with a Tower Key, it's kind of hard to fade Tower for that long. You know, oh, is he gonna be... I stand
corrected. Okay.
Is he gonna be the spice? Okay. That's a spicy dude.
That's a spicy meatball.
Oh, he could be stealing Sirens, but I would be very surprised. Okay. Yeah, no. Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, at this point, I think he's doing Tower, so, okay, I guess...
Wow.
Maybe his logic is, you know, try and finish everything underground first before you go up, so you don't have to come back.
Yeah, that makes sense. Or he could, you know, also be feeling really far behind for some reason. We'll definitely have to ask him when it comes time to do the interview, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. But yeah, right now, penguin8r seems to be, like, running a clinic, honestly, like... He just looks so efficient right now. He's playing real sweet. Like, you know, got enough Bacchus wines. Rosa's just destroying the King Ryus. He's getting all the XP he needs. He's going to be Z fight ready very shortly. I'm guessing, given this party, he's probably going after Reflect strats because, you know, one edge is not really worth trying to go all the way through that fight with Zerk strats. So, you know, he's probably going to at least get Nuke on Palom. Oh, and he just did.
There's Nuke.
So I'm curious.
Might be ready up. Yeah.
Both have Nuke. So now that both have Nuke and Rosa has White, he is ready to go. I'm guessing that was literally what he was waiting for.
Oh, Ready dodged.
Oh my goodness. Please. Oh no. Well, it doesn't matter even if he throws Wall up unless he's too fast at Nuke.
Unless he's too fast.
Oh,
that would be real surprising.
Oh, heckin' sweet. Oh, that was so scary. I felt so bad.
Sylph saves the day. As always, that...
Breathe.
Oh, man.
Is he doing the half tower, though? Because he didn't go up to the top.
Crisis averted. I saw him save at the bottom, so... I think he was just doing this first. If he's doing a penguin8r special, that's going to be pretty amazing. Maybe he's just trying to do penguin8r special to try and, you know...
You never know. Yeah, I don't know if he saw who was at the top of tower, because I wasn't paying attention then. Oh, hey, look, I see things starting to pop in chat, everyone. What's that? But yeah, he's doing half tower, so...
Ooh, half tower. This is the penguin8r special right here.
Very interesting.
But
yeah, I'm seeing these flag things in chat with the question mark and the Z. What is this all about? Could you explain a little bit to me? What is this?
Well, you can't randomize what boss Z is. You know, you can't move him around because he's too big. So instead, we decided to randomize the sprite that Z is. So when you throw the crystal at him, instead of being his new form, he's something different. So I think you have a question to ask, Ground.
Indeed I do. Indeed I do. The question is, whose butt are we going to kick tonight? Sorry, I like to get all excited about it. I hope that wasn't over the top.
Better than I could have done. There goes the crystal. He's getting ready the veil to do some reflecting. Nuke explosion and... Oh, Big Miss would be pretty funny. If it's Osmomus, I'm running a Cataseed.
Grrr. Wait a minute.
That's a repeat. I've seen that like twice today.
Didn't I literally see this earlier today on another race? Are you wow?
Dude,
it was like an hour ago. I mean, I won't spoil anything else.
Okay, Poydrick and anyway. Had that earlier. Oh man. All right, well here comes Reflect strats. Normally when you do enough damage to Z, he will in fact what's it called? He will refill his HP because they want to make the illusion that he has 100,000 HP, but they can't actually do that. So when you do enough damage to him, if you do direct damage to him, so via physicals or something, or direct spells, he'll refill his HP. However, if you reflect spells off of wall, for example, he will not trigger any. No counters will be triggered, therefore it'll skip the refill. So if he decides to do reflect strikes like he has by reflecting off of the Star Veil, he can just do that. And with 3 nuke and white casters, it's gonna be pretty strong.
Yeah, honestly, these nukes and whites are going to come out so fast. He's probably going to get the first. Well, he'll get the first big bang off the nerfed one, but I don't think we're going to see anything after that. I think it's just going to be crack boom, because his party's real strong right now.
Yeah, if you're doing reflect shots, you pretty much just commit and just go, go, go. Keep throwing them out there. Although, okay, he's doing a Cure 3, so he's probably planning on healing somebody.
Maybe he's just healing his wall person. Did Palom have the wall? I don't recall.
No.
But I guess Palom is the key one to keep
Top
up
him
here.
now. Maybe he's planning as a contingency plan to nerf the Big Bang with a crystal. Give that make if things go wrong or something and he's about to see a second Big Bang, he can try and nerf it with Edge.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, he definitely has that option too. So either way, this is probably going to be pretty trivial for him. The party is pretty strong at this point. But yeah, throwing out some security cures here just to make sure that Edge stays up, because Edge does get beat up by nukes pretty well. Usually his armor is not nearly as strong as some of the other characters. And
there's the flash.
Boom. Boom. GG.
Boom. GG's to penguin8r, taking first place in this race. We'll see his official time in a second here. 1:15:45.
Excellent job, penguin8r. And he is now 2-0 in the Maga Sisters group. So one more and he gets the advance to the bracket round.
Yep, so. And he is guaranteed to get to Magmarand at least. So that's really nice to know.
Excellent, yeah. Absolutely.
Penguin8r versus Penguins. Jeez.
Oh, and unfortunately, it looks like BORENSOREN may have forfeit here. Am I reading that correctly?
I guess it looks like it. Although, let me check.
I know there were stream issues, I think. So I just want to make sure. Oh goodness.
Ooh.
It looks like we are joined by penguin8r. GG's penguin8r.
Thank you.
So, how did you feel when you saw that crystal sword and sold it, and then knew immediately that you were going to see Cecil on at the pedestal on the
moon?
Lunar subterranean.
So at that point, I had basically committed that if it's Cecil, I was just going to be without him. I was fine with the party I had. I think at the point I sold the crystal sword, I already knew I just had to clear the White Sphere Altar and Threemus himself. So I figured the Cecil wouldn't make that much of a difference. And as it turned out, the Mist Dragon was there. And Cecil's not the best against Mist Dragon because Berserk's kind of hard to use, and it has a holy resistance to reduce the damage also. So it turned out to not be too bad. And actually Dart is probably a lot stronger there than a Crystal Sword would be.
It's still really funny to see, turn down the Cecil, then find the Legend Sword like soon after, and then find a Crystal Sword, and then sell the Crystal Sword, and then find the Cecil. That was really funny.
Yeah, it was a little disappointing. On these flags, I'm kind of not too big on Cecil. If I don't have a guaranteed Crystal Sword, I tend not to go for him. And even with just one Cecil, with the agility anchoring, it's not as strong.
Yeah, especially since you already had the curse ring and stuff. Like, you already had the anchoring situation set up, and you had the magic, and you had sirens, and you had hourglasses. This game was very generous. So, but I feel like at the same time, you kind of ran like really efficiently. Like, how do you feel about this run?
I cleared things pretty efficiently. I probably overlooted a little bit. I think some of my buys were unnecessary. I tend to, on these flags, I find I often overloot in order to get things for Edge. You saw me buy Drain Spears, which they're cheap relative to other things, but they still cost a lot if you want to supply a run with them. So it probably could have cut a little more looting, but overall, pretty smooth run.
Yeah, for sure. So I was curious. One of the things I saw you did pretty early was actually check for Bool, which obviously ended up with Hook. That was your path underground. But yeah, just were you thinking, well, this is a really quick check to do? Because obviously, since you had Pan already and Pan was an objective, you could have done the river special and possibly gone underground without it. Why did you choose to go that route first?
Yeah, it's a little riskier on these flags to skip for Bool. I think even Rivers has commented that himself. It's just because with the fewer objectives, it's a little bit more common to get early go modes where if you're delaying an early check like for Bool, you can be putting yourself pretty far behind. And also getting underground in these flags, you get a lot of power spike from possibility of siren and better equipment. So if there happens to be a magma key there, I think it's usually pretty worthwhile to head there early. And also the experience can help. Like with that party, Palom wants experience early.
Yeah, for sure. So the other thing I noticed, obviously, you went to the moon, and at that point you only had 9 key items, and obviously you got the 10th key item through the final objective at the White Spear altar. But were you thinking at that point, like, hopefully I'll get the key item? Well, obviously, hopefully I'll be able to take out the White Spear altar and get the crystal and get the 10th key item to grind, or were you just not really worried about it and willing to go with regular XP instead of double XP?
I was definitely hoping for the 10 key items. I actually did the tower key check without really needing to. I was technically in go mode there, but I was hoping for a 10th key item with a quick check there, though it didn't quite pan out. I think it was a ninja hat instead.
Yeah.
So yeah, with the moon, I think I thought about doing a siren, but beforehand, but didn't bother. I had Bahamut, so I was between Bahamut, Quake, and Dart, Drain Spear. I was pretty much okay for anything. And I always had the sirens and the hourglasses in my back pocket to do some grinding preemptively if I needed to. So it's usually, you go up and check. It's an easy reset with the save point right there, and you can grind if you really need to.
So yeah, one other thing that I'm curious about, and actually it ended up being not trivial, which is that you checked tower. Obviously you had tower key at that point, so it was obviously something available to get both key items there, but you didn't check dwarf, and it turns out was it the Luca spot, I believe, had Baron key, or no, it was the regular dwarf spot.
I think it was the regular one.
Yeah, the Luca had white shirt, but
white shirt.
The Baron key was in dwarf, which then obviously would have sent you on a different goose chase. So did you have a specific preference for tower or dwarf? Are they pretty similar and you just kind of went with one over the other?
So it was a little bit of a coin flip there. I think because I had seen the boss and knew it was the guards, I knew that would be a free check. Whereas the dwarf bosses were still unknown, and those can still be potentially risky, although they're not quite as high stats. So it's the known boss and having it be something that's essentially free. I figured that was the quicker option.
Yeah, especially once you got those coffins, they were basically insta-kill, so it's nice to have that information beforehand, for sure. So yeah, Marty, any questions for penguin8r?
Opinion on Z-Sprite?
It was a nice group of penguins.
Did you feel bad beating up your brethren, is the question.
Yes.
Well, you have some rivalries, family feuds, things happen.
Awesome.
Well, GG's on the race.
Yeah, any final thoughts?
Nope. Just having fun getting back into the tournament. Easy to Boren. Fortunately, I think Boren's computer crashed, so you don't see the finish. But definitely, this whole group was all people who I've seen racing before, and so it's definitely not resting easy seeing my group draw.
Yeah, for sure. But being 2-0, that's good. So now you have one more, and you're guaranteed magma, if nothing else. But you definitely are still on track to be able to get to brackets. So good luck on your next race.
Thank you.
All right, take care. And I guess, I don't know, are we getting Boren in for an interview as well, or?
Hi guys, I'm here.
Oh, hey,
Oh,
Boren.
hey.
GG, and sorry for your technical difficulties, man. That's tough.
Yeah, it happened right as I was getting ready to save to head into the pass. At least it happened then and not like mid Eddie Strat's fight. That would have been a little bit more disappointing. But when you see the dot done already and you've already finished last, it's still disappointing I didn't get to finish. But I feel like I ran that pretty well. I'm happy with a lot of the choices that I made. I think maybe the only thing I would do differently was not the cheeky half tower play. I was kind of hoping I would get the pass out of that, and not have to bother with the moon at all. Of course, the pass wound up being at the Odin spot, but I I felt like I was going back underground to forge Excalibur, and I was going back underground to crack some eggs. So I figured, that half tower is pretty quick. Let me just like knock that out and see if I can get lucky there.
Yeah, we were both wondering about that. We didn't actually get to see anything past you resetting out of the ninja hat. You were trying to do the penguin8r special, so yeah.
Yes. So after that, I just went and I grinded up to nuke on both my casters. Flew through Baron. Odin's spot was Antlion, and that had the pass. So I saved outside of Troya, and then all of a sudden I started hearing all kinds of horrendous noises being made by my laptop, trying to catch up to whatever process was killing my CPU.
So you're basically at Z, so
Yeah, I mean,
not the worst.
I had bought 3 crystal rings from the Coco shop, so I felt like with reflect strats, I had a spoon to throw and crystal rings on my casters. I felt like that would have been a really safe, easy, quick Z fight. It's just a shame that it crashed on me.
Yeah, I am glad though. I mean, given that you had already seen the dot done, that it happened after that, but that also, even regardless of that, like obviously, like it would have really stunk if it happened beforehand, and then you don't know, what the actual outcome could have been. But then on top of that, at least you were already basically in Z fight mode, and I think you fought very competitively against penguin8r. Really, the one of the main differences between the two of you was that he went to tower before dwarf, and top of tower, obviously, as you know, had darkness, whereas you ended up on a different goose chase and had to go through Baron to get your Z access. So I guess one thing I am curious about though, we were noticing you did the pan check, so you went over and hit Yang, but then obviously you didn't go up and check the Sheila 1 and 2 spots, which had the other half of Forge. So I was just curious, like, was your thought process, I guess, basically, I want to try and finish everything underground and get all that done, like everything that's available before I go back up and check things? Or...
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, maybe the better choice would have been to just hit the objectives immediately, but I was trying to... I felt really comfortable with the team that I had and the handful of eggs that I had, or the handful of sirens that I had stolen, that, I can get my team up to like Feymarch bosses and Dwarf Castle, and I can just like knock that out right now. And those are both like pretty quick checks to make. So I felt like, let me just stay underground until I go up to turn in Pan. And then, we'll kind of, see how it plays out from there. But, I like to try to avoid flying around too much. So I knew I was going to have to make it up to Sheila eventually anyway. So I figured, I'm down here. I've got tools necessary to take on some of these underground spots. Let me just do that now.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Another thing I'm curious about, so obviously you did the Magus Sisters spot and got the spoon, which, was a nice key item. But on top of that, you ended up seeing in Dwarf Castle the Eddie So I was curious, did you for a moment think, is this a good idea? I could do Eddie strats here with the spoon word. Or was that kind of like, at that point, it's too late. I'm not going to bother with that junk.
Yeah, it was too late. Like, I've done the Eddie strats a couple times. It's a very nervy thing to do. You really have to be like locked in and ready to go. But like I had Edge, I had the casters, I had access to sirens. It didn't like feel like the right scenario to grab an Eddie there. I think the only person I would have taken there would have been a Palom, actually, because I would have ditched Rydia for another anchor at Sand Ruby, and then just had like 2 Paloms, nuke casting, whatever twin was in the bed anchoring, and then Rosa and Edge. But I was really happy with my party then, with the way it was. Like the thing about Rydia is like you're in for the long haul with the grind. But I felt like eggs are there. I'm more comfortable with reflect strats anyway. So just go ahead, crack those eggs, get ready up to nuke, and just deal with the slower XP curve.
Yeah, it makes sense. So, but yeah, honestly, like given everything, like I think you played really efficiently, and despite the fact that you're an 0-1, I think I think you still have a really good shot. You're obviously still capable of getting into Magma Group. So, what are your thoughts on the next couple races?
When the group drawing happened, I had really been hoping to see 3 other people whose names I didn't recognize. and then I saw my group and I was like, oh, okay. All right, well, maybe the 03 is still on the table. But I've been grinding the asyncs leading up to the tournament. I feel really comfortable with my skill level and my knowledge level. Rando's going to rando, but I do feel like me and Commander and me and Baka are going to have two really close races, and I'm looking forward to them because I maybe I'm biased, but I am really intrigued by how our group is going to shake out at the end. I mean, there's penguin8r, and then there's everybody else.
I mean, so for what it's worth, you put up a really good fight. Like that was real good.
Absolutely.
I think if I hadn't done the cheeky half tower check, it probably would have been a little closer. But I think Moon probably wound up being a little bit more direct than the kind of like complete everything on the blue planet approach that I took.
I mean, I love the trying to use the penguin8r special to try and beat penguin8r.
Yeah, I appreciate that try anyway.
Yeah.
You gotta go for it sometimes.
it's a strat.
That's for sure. But anyway, any final thoughts on this seed?
For being a hook route with 4 mages in my party at the time, it was pretty free. I'm really, really glad Sylph was at Hobbs, or else that CPU fight could have been really nasty. But I'm always glad to see a hook route become more or less free.
Yeah, it definitely was a less spicy hook route than I've seen, unfortunately. But anyway,
Yeah.
Still, you did a great job, and GG's, and I hope that you get your computer stuff fixed up, and we'll be ready to go for the next race.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, everybody.
Take care.
All right, bye.
All right, friends. Well, that ends our time here, and I appreciate all of you hanging out with us. Yes, definitely, as you're seeing, follow our runners and the other Restream folks. My co-commentator Marty56, tracking Greenleaf Effect, and Crimson Avix, who did the restreaming. Thank you all for your help. It's been a very, very excellent run and a very excellent time. I've appreciated my time with you chatting, Marty. It's been fun. I think we are about to send you off to, if I'm reading that name correctly, Indoor Wa, who is also doing some Threemus Zone practice. So we are going to raid over there shortly. But again, this has been Ground Flyer, and thank you all for hanging out. And Marty, again, thanks for being my co-pilot today.
It was a fun one.